Good morning. It's Lindsay. It's October 1st, 2022, and it's Saturday. Okay, I guess I'm going to, I thought I had at one time mentioned that I was not going to be making any more videos about targeted individuals and my targeting, but I guess I'm going to start doing it again because, oh, guess what? I'm being targeted again. Still. And so with the little street theater things and whatnot, which what happens, let me go ahead and explain what a targeted individual is once again and what gang stalking is. It basically means that you, as the victim or target, whatever, you've been put on some kind of a watch list, right? You have been put on some kind of a blacklist or watch list by the government, by some corporation that you maybe worked for, whatever, somebody who you angered, pissed off. And so this is like a way to get revenge on people who are outspoken, whistleblowers, whatever your situation, whatever your particular circumstances may be. This is what the government and private corporations will do to people to shut them up, to try to get them to react to the gang stalking. And gang stalking, even though people, that term, it's not what it sounds like gang stalking. Like when you hear that, you think, oh, there's a bunch of gangs of criminals stalking you. It's not like that. The term is a misnomer in a way. It's just something that is organized. It's more, the correct term, I would say, is more like organized stalking by proxy, which is more accurate to describe what it is. It's basically people using their electronic devices, their mobile phones, whatnot, computers, technology to harass and stalk and monitor the individual, the target, anywhere that person goes. And, obviously they're able to do this via their phones, through certain apps on their phones, which are directly connected to the fusion centers. Now, you want to know the main people behind who actually organize a lot of this organized stalking. It's, oh wow, I'm here in my backyard. I don't know what that thing is. Oh, it's a pomegranate, I think. But it's, yeah, I don't come back here that my backyard. Anyway, sorry, I get sidetracked. Keep on track, but they use the fusion centers, these places where everybody's in communication, direct communication with one another. That's where they send out the people. You might see cars and certain, you're being followed around as a target by convoys of vehicles a lot of the times, and it might be certain kinds of vans without a name, whatnot. That's an example. These people are sent to do this from the fusion centers, and if you don't know what that is, look that up. Look up fusion center. And if I live in Texas, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. There's a fusion center in this city. Now that is all connected with the FBI and the sheriff's department. Those are the main people behind the gangs, the CIA, the FBI, and the fusion, the sheriff's department mostly, and the fusion centers is where they coordinate all the stuff. And I know, of course, I'm talking right now. I'm not looking at any notes, but I have done a lot of notes over the years about this kind of thing, and I had at one point about 700 videos on my previous YouTube channel, which I deleted. But I had gone into much more detail about all this stuff, and at some point in the future, I will go into more detail. But I just wanted to start making videos again because really, once you are targeted, it seems that it just never really stops. I thought I was quite sure that maybe it was going to stop for a while, or that it was done with. But what happens is it will stop for a while, or so it feels like it has stopped, because it has declined a lot. But it's still going on, just in a not as intense, and that'll happen. And then once again, something happens in your life, in your private life, something usually involving a relationship or something like that, or a job, and then they'll amp it up again. The gang stalking and the harassment, the mobbing, wherever you frequent, if whatever gym, where you work, whatever it is, where you go on a daily basis, they're going to start amping it up again and sending out their flying monkey agent people, which these narcissistic people do. And that's why I believe that gang stalking, narcissism, societal narcissism, and all this stuff is obviously very much intertwined and connected. It's all very much connected, clearly, because the individuals who do these types of atrocities to wreak havoc in the person's life are obviously, they have to be some kind of sociopathic, narcissistic individuals to do that in the first place, in my opinion. So we live in a very narcissistic society, and the government is very powerful, and especially when they get the military and all these alphabet agencies involved with it, the stalking and harassment and whatnot, then clearly it's because you as a target, you're a threat to whoever. Well, we all have our different reasons for being on this list. I've got my suspicions as to why I'm a target, which I have been for many, I guess mostly my entire life. But it's just that this kind of thing, it doesn't just go away forever. It's going to keep on following you everywhere you go. Yeah, you're going to be in fake relationships a lot of times with people that they'll set you up in these relationships that you might think, a lot of the times these people are perps who they get you involved with, but you won't, maybe you'll never figure that out, or you'll figure it out when it's too late. Or these are just examples because this has happened to me throughout the years. It's very overwhelming, and there's other theories out there, obviously, as to why people are targeted. And one that I think is very interesting, that I actually think has a lot of validity, is a theory about the blood type, that certain individuals are being targeted and stalked and monitored by the government due to their blood type. And when I mean blood type, I'm talking about if you have those people who have Rh negative blood. I'm talking about people with Rh negative blood, in particularly O negative, because, and it sounds crazy. I know that I sound like I'm crazy, delusional, probably, by saying this, but I'm not saying this just to say it because I'm making it up. I'm saying it because I have researched it. There are other individuals out there. One such person is by the name of Zeph Daniel, who has talked about this exact thing, the Rh negative and being a target. He's talked about that on his channel. His name is Zeph Daniel. He's a targeted individual as well. And there's another person who I listen to. He has a show. His name is Lance Scurvy. If you look this man up on YouTube, Lance Scurvy, SCURVY, Scurvy. This man does a talk show, very interesting. He has some interesting talk shows on YouTube, and he has one episode in which he's interviewing a targeted individual, and this person is talking about exactly what I'm telling you about the blood type and being a target. And I have to say that, not to sound grandiose and not to be boasting, but being an Rh negative blood type myself, in having known this throughout my life, that things are kind of strange in my life, I can't help but wonder if that is one of the reasons why I'm also targeted. I feel it's because scientists and nobody can explain where the O negative blood derives from, because it's a one type of blood. Because actually it's a universal donor, right? O negative, you can donate your blood to anybody. That's why it's so in demand. But you can only accept the same kind of blood type, O negative. If you have an accident, whatever, the only kind of blood you can take is O negative if you are O negative. But that's not the case with any other blood type, which is odd. Okay. And how can that be explained? They cannot explain that. They can't explain certain things about Rh negative and particularly O negative blood. And I have noticed throughout my life, I've been keenly aware that I've been kind of treated a little bit differently throughout my life. Not a little bit, but differently. I feel that I'm always kind of, this is maybe a better background. I feel that I'm sort of scrutinized in a different kind of way, or just singled out in ways that are perhaps, that are not natural. And this went on throughout my childhood and school, whatnot. I was always sort of like, strange things have happened to me throughout my life. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know if that has to do with blood type being targeted or what, but I think it has something to do with it. I don't think it's entirely why, but I have a lot of different ideas as to why I'm being targeted. And of course, back to being some of the things they do. Okay, wherever you live, whatever neighborhood, whatever city, town, doesn't matter, whatever country, and if you're a targeted person, they're going to make sure to put neighbors next door to you and probably across the street who are monitoring you. That's like the neighborhood watched kind of program thing, I guess. But these people are monitoring you, and they're gonna do a lot of noise harassment and whatnot, things to try to get you to react and provoke you. And the best thing to do in these type of situations is just to try to ignore it, and as best you can, because they're just trying to get you to react, which gives them an excuse to call the police or whoever to get you labeled and misdiagnosed perhaps, or discredited. It's all about discrediting the person even more so than you've already been, because once the target is discredited, then you can't really it's hard to get a job, it's hard to maintain employment, it's hard to maintain relationships. You have a lot of instability in your life, no matter how hard you try to keep things stable. They try to make it as difficult as possible to keep you confused, in a state of confusion, so that they can try to control you. It's about control. It's about hierarchy. It's about manipulation. It's about gaslighting. It's about narcissism. It's about all these things combined to drive the target to absolute insanity, which they want to do. They want to get you in a mental hospital. They want to get you killed, or they want to get you in prison. Really, if you don't have any kind of support about your case or situation, if you don't have at least somebody on your side or who understands what you're talking about and who gives you some validity or credibility, then it's extremely difficult, because you feel very isolated, feel very alone, conflicted, ashamed, embarrassed, sad, depressed sometimes, because you feel like, why is this happening? And I've been, you start to really go back through everything in your life and try to analyze every aspect of your entire life, like a timeline, to try to find out exactly why this started. And, because it's very strange. And this is a situation. The case with most targets is they really want to know why and who, why, what, who, um, and really you'll most likely never get the direct answer, obviously, and that's done by design. But you'll get little hints and clues throughout the targeting, throughout your life, hints and clues as to who and why, what, where, when, whatever. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just that don't expect to ever get a full clarity of it unless you're going to have an epiphany, perhaps, that it's because of this or it's because of that, or you might have a dream. It might come to you in a dream, and but still it's going to be very confusing, because I know that with me, I've had a lot of dreams and little epiphany moments where I feel like, okay, that's why, and I have figured this puzzle out. But no, it's not exactly why. It's not the whole answer. It's just part of the equation. It's part of the. It's just one piece of that huge puzzle that you are trying to piece together. Um, I don't. It's very bizarre, very surreal. Because my main question, my main issue is I'm wondering exactly how do they coordinate the street theater so accurately as to when you're driving down the street on your way to wherever, since mostly the time, most targets, most people have a route that they take that genuinely is the same, or that's usually pretty much the same when they go certain places. And that they send out these people to do the street theater on the corners to watch as you're driving by, and they're clearly mocking or acting out something that just happened to you, or that's very personal in your life. And it's like, well, how did they do that? How is it that they're watching me? And you're gonna drive yourself insane with asking all these questions, because you want to know how do they know this? And it seems so almost supernatural. And that's probably not the right word. It's like it's almost like it's demonic. I mean, demonic. I don't know. That's not the right word either. It's something that these people. It's like they're sent from some kind of a. It's very hard to explain this in words. I apologize, but my wording is not very good right now, because it's unless you've gone through it yourself and you see it happening in front of you, and you know when you would know what I'm talking about. And it's hard to put it in words, the right words to actually describe what I'm referring to. But anyway, I still get my gang stalking at the gym, and it's funny because now that I started put my channel back up and put up some old videos that I had saved that I still had on my computer, they're doing it again. They're starting to do the stuff to me again, and I don't. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's not okay, but it's happening again. I keep looking out the window because there's always things going on outside. But anyway, that's all wanted to talk about today for now. And I'll be obviously doing more videos soon, or trying to do them daily, probably. That's it. Have a nice day.